Okay, I'm replacing the starter on a Westinghouse iGen 4500C key fob electric start generator. And here's the new one. And we're going to try to do this real fast. Here's the old one. Brushes are still good. And I took it apart because I wanted to see what was wrong with it. It turns out after replacing the solenoid, it wouldn't start. This was getting stuck. It wasn't totally disengaging. So, and I have a spare brand new one as well. So I have two new starters. And I'm going to put it back the same way I took it apart. That's where it engages with the ring gear. Let's see if we can get a good angle. Oh man, you can't really see it with that bar in the middle. Let's see. There. See, it's just behind the ring gear. And then it kicks out, right? Well, that wasn't the problem. I replaced the battery and got me, well, it's in the back. I already have it in there with a lithium-ion battery. And there's the one that came with it way over there by the fan. You'll see that. That's the battery. It's still good. 12.98 volts. And the lithium was only putting out a little bit more. 12.13. No, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. 13.13. And the old one was still putting out 12.97. Yeah, almost 13. So the lithium ion one is way in the back, so I can't even get there. It is right there. And it's got a BMS system on it, prevents it from overcharging, or I don't want to turn the generator around. This is going to be a fast video. I don't make too many, so I'm sort of a novice at this. But there's the old one. It wasn't disengaging enough for it to kick on. But when I jumped it with I didn't bring it out here. It's a Ryobi 18-volt battery, and I was just jumping it, and I still had to jump it even with the new battery. Fully charged, it's putting out about 20 volts, and it was able to help this thing to kick out, so it would actually engage the ring gear, so it can turn the motor over. But to take it apart, of course, you got to take the panel. There's the new full cord assembly, which they gave me. It's under warranty. Here's the back of it. Motherboard, not the motherboard, the control panel. Upside, no, it's right side up. You got to pull that out. So there's the panels. All the panels on the left and right side have to come out. And after you pull the control panel out, behind it is this sort of like a backing, right? All the wires come through these holes right here, right? And so they're insulated, and they got all this. Move the starter out of the way. Gotta do this real fast. One, I found out it's got the braiding on these wires. You can see right there, and there's a little bit of that going on, some chafing. I was looking for the right word. And another one was actually showing, see, there's some more chafing right here, over there, and then, so it's pretty cheap, for lack of better words, casing. It's not shielding, but they made an attempt at the factory. This is a 2020. I bought it in 2022, May of 2022, 2023. So what are we? Just over 2 years. Okay. Anyways, so bear with me. Here's the motherboard, or the PCM, power control module. And you can see the brackets right there. It mounts in there. Okay, and then you just put those 10 millimeters in there. And then there's a ground wire right here. And then once you get that control panel off, and you got to pull this off just to replace the pull cord assembly, right? So I figured, well, that thing vibrated off. I never used it. So what did I do this time? I got me some, let's see. That shrink tubing? Trying to do this with one hand between my legs. It's not working. But I'm going to shrink it. And when I put the panels on, it's got to come through the outside of the panel on the right side. And I'll shrink it where it only hits. So when it's, you know, through the side of the panel. Let's see. I'm kind of new at this. Bear with me. Okay. See that shrink tubing? So it's going to go out through the panel on the side of the generator. And then I'm going to shrink it to where it rubs right here inside the assembly. And so I got to figure out how far it's got to be out. And then that way when it rubs on the housing right here, it's just not going to vibrate. You know, I just used the key fob and the electric start, but what if it's cold, you know, this winter? We're in what, mid-October. It's almost Halloween. And, you know, what if it's cold and the battery don't want to start, or, you know, we get below zero. Those lithium ions don't like to work too well. And the OEM battery over there that came with it is pretty old. So, you know, I remember it was giving me trouble last winter. But anyways, that will protect it from vibrating off the factory pull cord here. But that's just a side issue. Since I'm here taking it apart to do the starter, this fan unit has to come off. That's aluminum. And all you got to do is it takes a 21 millimeter socket. I forget what that is in American, but anyways, in US. And it's aluminum. So it's very, you know, it's not a very, it's not steel. So it'll come off really easy. And that holds this. And this is what the pull cord assembly comes on. And here's your fan. I cleaned that up really good. It was really dirty. Fans will blow better when they're clean, of course. I have to do that. I live out in the country, so I have to do that every year out here, clean all my fans, power wash them, so they blow, you know, the way they're intended. And then you have this, what is this called? The ring gear. The ring gear bell housing. Or, I'm sorry, ring gear drum. And inside this drum, all the way around is a bunch of magnets, right? And there's your pickup coil right here that goes to your ignition coil, right? So it's a sensor. And it's like the clearance right there is about 8 to 14 thousandths. So I set it at 12 thousandths. And it's got like a swing. It has two 8 millimeter bolts. And you just loosen them both up, but don't take them all the way out. And then you can swing it when you're adjusting it. But that's got to come out in order for this drum to come out. So then when you get to, after you get behind this fan, this thing here, there's another 21 millimeter that's holding this drum. So you're going to need a pulley. You're going to need a puller, right? So that one got it out. I mean, I couldn't, well, if I had a tripod, I could have just filmed myself doing it. But this is like a quick hurry deal for somebody who needs to get this done. Hopefully it'll help someone. And then, so with that pulley right there, you can, after you pull this fan out, you'll see two bolt holes, and you screw it in there with your pulley, right? And then you can pull this out. But make sure you take your sensor out right here first, because it's going to get in the way, which is what I didn't do. But luckily I didn't damage it. So once you pull the drum out, you're going to see the stator with a bunch of windings on it. There's a stator, or is that a, oh God, what do you call it? It's not a stator. This is more like a stator, where the magnets are, but the, man, forget what that's called. You know, oh dang it. Anyways, that's stationary, and this drum rotates around it, right? Okay, and that's what creates your energy, right? And it's transferred through the wires in the back that goes to the other side of the generator, and then back through here to the front. Anyways, in order to take the starter off, you got to pull all that out, and there's only 2 bolts that hold it. And I'll show you. Oh, right here on the old one, right there. and it slides in behind. Oh God, that bar just keeps getting in the way. See, it goes behind there, right? So you can't get it out, which I thought I could, because I've been wanting to replace the starter for like 2 months. They finally sent me the starter. Okay. It was under warranty from Westinghouse. So all that's got to come out in order for the starter to come out. This is just the starter head. The rest of the body is, well, it's in that box. But anyways, there's the brand new one. But I have 2 of them, so I took it apart and I'm going to put it back together. But you can put the back side of it back on after everything's on. But I hope this helps somebody. Forgive me, I'm kind of new at this. So that's it. I'm going to retape some of these wires, and one was showing some metal, some bare wire somewhere. It was chafing. Is that it? One of them is. I'm going to find it. And I'm going to fix them up and tape them up. But that's it. In order to get the starter off, you got to take all this stuff out in front. The control panel, the motherboard, well, of course, all the fan shroud. There's a shroud that goes... Where is it? There it is. I just cleaned it. It was on the table, but I brought it over here. See, this shroud's going to go in next. So you don't need to take the carburetor off or anything. Just everything else all around the sides, the panels, the wirings, they have to be disconnected in order for you to get the shroud off. Okay, and then if you're just going to replace the full cord assembly, you won't need to take this off. Okay, this stays on there, and you just replace the unit right there on the ground. Right? And that's as far as you need to go if you're only going to do that. But if you're going to replace the starter, you got to take everything off just to get to it. And hope this helps somebody. All right. I'm done. I'm out.